Marriage in China, the disillusionment of Confucian values. In a country with over 1 billion people, complex traditions have spilled over into an extravagant array of different customs. As an integral part of traditional Chinese culture, ancient marriage customs have a long history of over 5,000 years, which have changed over time due to different social ethics and standards from one dynasty to another. However, they also have their own unique characteristics and rituals which have been carried forward to the present and still exert a far-reaching influence on later generations. Today we look at how marriage in China has evolved throughout these centuries. Fast forward to modern-day China, and while previous generations still retain Confucian ideologies in their marriages, many young Chinese women today reject the importance of marriage and the intrinsic role it plays in continuing the family tree. Such an example is Jia Lei, a 20-year-old student studying in Singapore. She is an example of how Chinese women have become more liberal to the globalization, and how Confucian philosophy has shifted towards westernization.
我的父母是自由恋爱的，他们的婚姻并不是因为相亲而促成的，可他们的婚礼还是保留着一些传统习俗和礼节，例如新郎还是要到新娘家接亲，并且向女方家人敬茶。但是现代人就不太一样了，他们有的人受到国外的影响，结婚仪式就变得有些西洋化。
While many Chinese women have been embracing modernity and westernization, the Chinese have also embraced the common end to many marriages in the Western world, the inauspicious end to a marriage, divorce. The rate of divorce for the Chinese is increasing at an alarming rate. An estimated 2.87 million Chinese marriages ended in divorce in 2012 alone, a number on the rise for the 7th year in a row. Some point to an urban-rural divide. Others point to the government. In the 1950s and 60s, divorce was considered both immoral and bourgeois by the communists. A divorce required approval of the state, and that was almost impossible to get. Marriage reform passed in the 80s and 2000s made it easier to get a divorce. Many of these divorces have ended up well, as in the case of Chen Huieng, an 18-year-old from Shanghai with divorced parents. She said her mother faced no discrimination as a divorced mother.
在我3岁的时候，他们就在那里离婚了。其实他们离婚的非常成功，因为他们没有什么一些争吵的问题，比如房地产或者是金钱上的问题。然后其实我妈妈现在，就算她在工作上也不会遇到什么不公平的待遇，就因为她是一个离过婚的一个女人，对。但是他们并没有介意，还是把她当成一个就像一个普通人这样子，只是没有结过婚罢了，这样就好像没有一个结婚的人这样子，对。
However, some aren't so lucky. An example of this lies in Li Jiayi, a 19-year-old from Henan province. Her grandparents were vehemently against the idea of a divorce, citing family values.
我的祖父母他们知道我父母离婚之后，他们表现得非常生气，然后他们觉得为什么需要离婚？他们觉得这种事情是不能被接受的，因为在他们的观念里面，他们觉得一旦结婚了就不可以再离婚，这是很丢脸的事情。
The increase in divorce rate, along with better prospects, have left many women unmarried. Many of these women who choose to remain unmarried are discriminated by the society, often called 剩女. An imbalanced sex ratio, a lingering consequence of the infamous one-child policy, along with Confucian values that hold patriarchy and family lineage to a high standard, has allowed discrimination to take place against unmarried women but not unmarried men, who make up a greater proportion of the population. In 2010, it was reported that 9 out of 10 men believe that women should be married before they turn 27 years old. For many Chinese men, a woman's purpose is to be a birth giver, not a career superwoman. Many women who choose to remain unmarried and pursue their careers are often discriminated as a result. The patriarchal attitude held by Chinese men has only exacerbated the issue of discrimination in China. The Confucian value of filial piety, respecting family, and the family tree is also of great importance, and not getting married is a sign of great disrespect to the parents, as it causes them to lose face, which is a great dishonor to them.
我想谈一谈关于现在这个社会对剩女的一些看法，特别是在中国。比如说，我有一个表姐，她今年已经32岁了，可是她还没有嫁出去。就算她的家庭背景也是挺优越的，可是她也是找不到一个门当户对的对象。然后呢，每次在家庭聚会的时候呢，我们这些长辈或者就是有一些七大姑八大婆的一些亲戚，会在他的背后讲一些闲话，然后有时候还会对他冷嘲热讽的，就是觉得他这么大的年纪了，还是没有找到一个老公嫁出去。
To many, it seems like China has taken one step forward and two steps back in their quest for marriage reform. The loosening of governmental regulations is some hope that one day men and women will stand on equal footing. However, the after effects of the restrictive laws passed decades ago will be felt for generations to come, and will continue to play a significant role in the progression of marriage and society as a whole in China.